Order Taint. Well, where should I begin? Better relax, this will take a while. And do not dare to interrupt me. It's hard enough to say everything I want to explain without forgetting most aspects, which I likely will happen anyway. Better get started, eh? A simple truth often overlooked is that daedra are not bound to a form. I may now be an Xtraz, but that doesn't mean that I wasn't at Dromora millennia ago. Well, I wasn't, but that's beside the point. I could have been. In fact, since the clash of Anu and Padme, the later the latter since the dawn of time, a lot of them have. Just look at the Hound of Clavicus file. He was once a scamp in Morrowind. Lesser daedra have always searched for a place of protection, to not being subjected to the void. Lesser daedra spirits, yet without form, followed those princes which they had once something in common. In most cases, even the princes themselves changed. Did you know that Mehrunes Dagon was once a leper demon, not a prince of destruction? Anyway, another prince back then was Jyggalag. At the creation of Mundus, Jyggalag was cast down. The Sisyphus-shaped hole appeared. Those daedra following Jyggalag had to find other places to escape from the void. Many daedra who once were servants of Jyggalag changed, as they had changed their allegiance. Even their appearance changed with them. What now is a scamp, or an orgim, or a winged twilight, or a Dromora, or a Vermari, or a Xtraz, may once have been a servant of order. All save the Knights of Order had deserted Jyggalag. Why? He couldn't grant protection and a place away from the void anymore. The Knights of Order, they're beings without their own animus, merely extensions of Jyggalag. So they alone remained loyal. Not all myths are wrong. Unlike some scholars conclude, there are several kinds of daedric beings, those like us, for which it was right, and others like the knights, which are described as monomyth. Those independent lesser daedra who served Jyggalag now found other places to be. Still, they once were under Jyggalag's influence, and that's something rooted deep within them. When the Grey March approaches, they feel it for some time. It may be nothing more than a passing shiver, the enkindling of a memory all too soon, falling into obliviousness again. Others, though, those that were either greatly blessed by Jyggalag, or back then closely aligned to his sphere, begin to change again, change allegiances, become servants of order again. Really, it's the same old game at every Grey March. Begins to get on my nerves. Just look at some you've met. The Shrazi? For her, it's just a passing cold, which wouldn't have even become noticeable if she hadn't eaten from a servant of Jyggalag. She's not closely aligned to order. She's very likely won't fall. Yulaza, on the other hand, oh dear. Let's say Lord Dagon has messed it up big time. The last Grey Marches, we were able to take care of her so that she didn't fall. There are strategies, you see, and in her large parts fought against the change that got her. That's why her over-the-top behavior, emotions, are a way to fight the order. Yet she's long since over the edge. It were just last hand waves of someone drowning, unable to swim. I pity her. She's lost it this time. It's even no surprise that Lord Dagon has chose this time to attack Mundus again. He feels the reappearance of his age-old foe, and knows that his number may be dwindling soon. Most daedra, who once were closely aligned to order, are today far enough away to not fall into the immediate future. What may happen if Jyggalag doesn't disappear again? Who knows? Although those that have fallen, like Yulaza, well, we need to deal with them. They can deal unbelievable amount of damage if let loose on Mundus, more so than any servant of Lord Dagon could. The spheres of other daedric princes enhance aspects of mortals, bad aspects, but nevertheless what they are. Jyggalag runs contrary to what makes Mundus so special. What makes Mundus special is the amount of free will, creativity, and change. Jyggalag is the opposite of that. I've heard he was cursed by other daedra princes. I don't believe it. Ah, More likely, he was cursed by what were becoming the daedra, by the creation of Mundus, which brought a chaotic factor into the perfect order. We cannot have daedra spread this order around. That's why we need to get rid of Ylaza for good. For as long as for a long time to come, maybe even for a long time enough, so that she may change, be finally free from his influence. We don't have the necessary means to do so. Simply killing does not work against a daedra, and she's already so close to Jyggalag. Normal soul trapping won't help. Yet we can get the necessary means. I'll keep my eyes open. We need to find out where she is. We need a weapon to sever her connections to all worlds. To find this will be my part. Yet, what we also will need is a colossal black soul gem. Not one of the normal ones, small ones. No, we need the big stuff. So, what I'd like you to do is keep my lecture in mind. You can already keep an eye open for a colossal black soul gem. Maybe you've already even brought me one. I don't know. I have to check. It will take a lot more preparations until we are able to neutralize Ylaza. I'll let you know then. Be aware that only a few have the knowledge of what I just shared with you. Most daedra not affected by Jyggalag have chosen to forget, and mortals, how could they know? I urge you to not share with the others what we had just discussed. Yet please, take my little script. It'll help you to remember, and it will fade out if another tries to read its letter. And now, have a nice day. Your script is written in Daedric. Your point is? I've used a spell to write down what I'm talking. Of course it's written in Daedric letters. That's the kind of magic I'm proficient with. So learn to read Daedric letters. Problem solved. Damn you, Kara. Kara's script. So this is everything we just read. This one right here. Yeah, that's one of the ones I script. It says, many people say the Daedric princes cursed Jyggalag, but... And then she goes on to that part about the daedra being the ones that probably did it. I think that's what that part was. I